BattleScribe. It is an app for army and unit construction for several game systems, but obviously in this community it's known for building 40k lists, without having to troll through codexes that you may not have on your person at the time, because you never bought it in the first place. It had a resurgence after Games Workshop's previous app was an absolute failure. It brought up a lot of errors and wasn't working, so people quickly went to BattleScribe. But now Games Workshop has their own app, relaunched and working. Will that put BattleScribe out of use? The Games Workshop 40k app is free. The first taste is always free, just so you get used to it and see all the people around you using it. But then, to make more than one army, you now need to be subscribed to Warhammer Plus. It lets you watch things like Pariah Nexus as well. You don't need to do that though. The other tools on the app remain free, and according to their statement, it will continue to be an excellent reference for the most up-to-date rules for Warhammer 40,000, the index datasheets, combat patrol rules, and the core rules reference. All of that will remain accessible without a subscription, unless your codex has come out. Now that the Tyranid codex is out and available for purchase, even the index rules for the Tyranids are gone, leaving only the combat patrol and Imperial armor rules there. The Imperial armor rules, along with the Legends rules, are available for free from the Warhammer community, but not the index cards anymore. That PDF is gone. So now if you want to see your codex's rules, the only way to do that is by buying the codex and using the QR code in it to activate that thing on the app. So you may see a lot of codexes being returned or sold second-hand, but the code has already been used. And it's rather annoying now that you can only have one army list. Let's say you want to make 2 army lists for your 2 different armies. Or for your same army, a 1000 point version and a 2000 point version. But really, now that Games Workshop is doing this points like power, it's pretty easy for anyone with mental arithmetics or just access to paper and quill. Other writing tools are available. I'm not centuries old, I'm just eccentric. And it should be much easier to manage because there are no weapon options. The points are all free online. And with the points like power, I have to mention Games Workshop's previous construction tools. The Age of Sigmar one was alright, functional, workable. The combat roster one for using power in 9th edition was really not great. Here I am using it to add a superior to a squad of Celestians. It didn't reduce the number of regular Celestians or change the power to reflect the new, higher squad size. I think Games Workshop's solution to that was just to delete the builder entirely and the Celestians along with them. Unless you want to use my version. With easier points and the new Games Workshop app in use by a lot of players, is this the change that will kill BattleScribe? No. Because it was basically already dead. The developer left for a long time, so long that the app started being removed from app stores as inactive. The reason for going was mental illness, which just really sucks for them. But then the developer came back to update the app with the idea that, if I understand it correctly, BattleScribe will become a dataset that roster construction apps like newrecruit.eu can use to make army lists. So is that it then? Has Games Workshop won? No.
There is another.
Wahpedia is returning very soon. Wahpedia was a website that had quick updates for all of the rules in a place that you needed them. So now that there's been a September balance patch for 40k and Age of Sigmar, this changes some rules. Games Workshop has been quick to update their app, but they haven't updated the downloadable PDFs. Computer users have it good with Wahpedia, which updates very quickly in all the right places and trumps codexes, because now that Games Workshop is making 40k like a live service style game for a tabletop miniature game, updates to them, like the points in the book, the Tyranid points in their codex, already being outdated on the day of release. Changes would be already there on Wahpedia. Otherwise, if you had the codex, you would have to mark your codex and hope that that particular rule doesn't change for like the next 2 editions because you have no more space to overwrite it. I would put sticky notes over changes in my codex. The one codex I've bought in the last 3 years. Wahpedia gets away with reprinting all of Games Workshop's rules online for everyone to use for free by just being based in Russia, where it's harder for the UK copyright law to reach them. But Wahpedia, though a source of rules, has the points right there next to the unit stats. So we have points, but it can't be used easily to make army lists. Considering how the points work in 10th edition, there is another app that I think is even more likely to end the use of BattleScribe, and unless Games Workshop's app gives you all of the updated unit cards on your phone easily, they will also lose out to this app. As the Games Workshop app is something you have to pay for to be really useful, this is the alternative that I recommend. And if you don't have access to paper, By their powers combined, you have all of the tools you need to outperform so many other apps. And this seems to be the app that players, especially Tyranid players, are turning to for their army list construction. And when it returns properly, I expect Wahpedia will be the website that people go to get screenshots or printouts of their unit stats. With the points being free online and downloadable, writing the list on paper seems best, but there are some things it can't do. You have to remember legends. They have their points in a separate document and people forget them. If you didn't know, you can take legends units in games when you're messing around with friends, in competitive matches at your local club or at Games Workshop stores, in crusade games, but not official tournaments unless they expressly allow them. I will keep reminding you that legends are units you can take, but the Adeptus Sororitas Battle Sanctum and the Genestealer Cult Drill haven't really left me with much material to discuss. The 40k app doesn't have a button for these, but BattleScribe has a toggle to allow it. Pen and paper can't remind you to do things like include a warlord, as one example, when you're making sure that your list is legal. The Games Workshop app can, and it also has a button for adding allies correctly, so Adeptus Sororitas players can see, oh, there's my anti-tank options. I wondered where they went. And pen and paper can't explain how all the unit and detachment variations of Space Marines work. But I can. And I encourage you to click to find out how it can work. In the next couple of days, I'll be doing a voting poll on my Warhammer community tab to get a more accurate survey of which apps people are using in their army construction. Have a great day of 40k.